It takes time and persistence and maybe a little bit of failure before you can be anxiously engaged. The six sisters who I talked about who helped me with Hannah's wedding and the ones that I can't wait to be in the kitchen with at any event that we're helping with, they became that way over the course of time. We remember each other as kids and teenagers. We were always anxiously engaged, but now we get to see the fruits of all of that effort from my parents, that all of them are, they get things done and they don't wait to be asked. And that's what we're trying to develop in our kids as well, especially when it comes to these verses. So I wanted to create some way to kind of highlight the Children and Youth Goals program. Because rather than reinventing the wheel, I'm hoping to just sort of shine a light on this one, because it's actually a really good program that tends to slip to the bottom of the pile of our priority list, and I'm hoping to bring it back to the top, especially since it's summer, where your kids have a little more time on their hands to focus on what they want to accomplish. So remember, the goal here is to kind of work those spiritual muscles of learning how to be anxiously engaged and why there's joy in accomplishing small things and all that jazz. So first, in the printable, you'll find this. You can find this without the printable at all, obviously, in the Children and Youth page. Like you can go on that little pamphlet that your kids probably have, or you can go to the church website and print these off, or something kind of similar to this. This is just so that your kids can plan goals in each of the 4 quadrants. Their spiritual goals, their physical goals, their intellectual goals, and their social goals. If it were me, I found in the summer it's a little overwhelming to have great big goals. So I like to help my kids break them down a little bit. Last summer we did some that were just like, I just want for the month of June. What's your spiritual goal for the month of June? Or if you have younger kids, it may be just this week. And this kind of gives you the adaptability so that you can pick and choose what would fit for your kids. So once they've figured out their goals and written them down, then you're going to put them in the sloth. So, okay, you guys, here's the idea behind the sloth. I just think a couple times in this week's sections, he mentions being slothful. So I started going down this rabbit hole of, why sloth? What is it about the sloth that is so perfect for this example? And what I learned is sloths have slowly evolved to move very slowly because they don't consume very much food. And so they either sort of have a choice. They only consume leaves. They don't consume nuts or berries or anything else. So they really don't have any good energy sources. So they can either choose to eat different things, or they can keep eating their leaves and then just move at a much, much slower pace. So if your kids have seen Zootopia, there's that classic scene, where the sloth is at the DMV, and maybe you play that for your kids and help them grasp the visual. But this is kind of what the Lord is warning us about. He's saying, don't adapt. I know the natural man tendency is to slow down, to coast. It's easier that way. It's more comfortable that way. And your body will slowly adapt. Your spiritual sensitivities will slowly adapt, just like the sloth's metabolism adapts. But he's asking you to step up, to choose to be anxiously engaged. The Goals program is designed to do just that, to remind your brain that you are an agent to act rather than someone to be acted upon. I can't think of a better time of year to get that message across to our kids than summer, where they no longer have the parameters of school and certain schedules that they have to keep. So this is a good time to talk to your kids about slothfulness, what it is, what it isn't, and how to combat it with goals. So the sloth will hold your little goals sheet so that it's visible, top of mind all the time. They can put it on their shelf. Maybe you put it in like the kitchen so you guys can remember them and pull them out once a week and see how kids are doing with their goals. I even made the sloth so that they can open like a box, so that maybe as a parent or as a teacher, you might put an incentive of some kind inside that sloth so that when your kid gets all 4 of those goals done, they can open up the sloth and see what the mystery prize was. I don't know. You can take it in a bunch of different directions, but my hope is it helps you have a conversation about the power of goals. This is what the Lord put us here for. If we're going to accomplish this great work of doing this incredible supper for the world, then we all need to be the kind of kitchen crew that steps up, doesn't need to be asked, is always seeking to go about doing good. That's what the Savior did in his lifetime. That's what we need to do as well. Hopefully the Children and Youth program help your kids see the connections between what the Savior did and what he needs us to do in our day.